Friends, welcome you all on the behalf of Rahul Biology Tutorials. So as you know that I am Rahul and this is somewhat around my channel whose name is actually the Rahul Biology Tutorials. So now let's begin with the very interesting topics which are often being asked in terms of your Neet, often the Aiims, often the All India Pre-Medical Examination. So today we are going to study about what? So today we will be understanding about the animal kingdom, in which we are going to study about what? Tell me. In which we are going to study about these cases, means hint to remember the different phyla as well as their characteristics. So by the help of this trick, so we'll be understanding about what? So by the help of this trick, we'll be understanding the characteristics as well as the features by which these phyla are literally being demonstrated or either being supported, as well as these are being characterized. Now, so these are resembling the formula, which is somewhat like what? Which is somewhat like this, means in term we are having the very unique formula. So just like this, so we are having the nice dress. So when we are talking about these cases, so here and so okay, and here stand for what? So it is standing here for the name cases, as well as we are having what? So we have dealt about the name. Then we are having what? So we are having the environment. Okay. Then we will be having the common name. Then we are having the digestion. Then we are having here meant of the case of the reproduction. After that, what will be happening? Tell me. So after that, here, so we have dealt about the niece TR. Then E. So in this case, when we are talking about the case of the here, means what are actually the E. So it will be standing for the case of the example. Then what? Then we are having the SS cases, such as mentioned of the supportive features. Then what? Then the special features, as well as what? As well as here, meant of what are actually the structural demonstration or either the structure. So now, today we are going to study about which of the phyla. So this is somewhat like this, meaning in terms of what? So when we are talking about the case of the phyla, so today, okay, so we will be understanding about the case of the Arthropoda. Okay, fine. So when we are talking about the case of the Arthropoda, by the name itself, it is very clear. Okay, so it will be particularly living in terms of what of the habitat or either in terms of the environment. Tell me. So it will be living in terms of the here, in terms of the aquatic environment, as well as when we are talking about these cases. So this could be actually what? So this could be free living. Then what? So this could be free living, as well as this could be mobile, as well as this could be often parasitic in nature. So when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the parasite. So the organism which is literally being present in term on the another organism body, as well as acquiring the sufficient amount of the nutrition from their another organism body, as well as playing an important role in order to perform their life cycle in the body of what? In the body of the other living organism, just like the host. So it will be coming under what cases? So it will be coming under the case of here, meant of the parasite. As well as you are very clear about that, means what are actually the mobile. Then what? Then the free living. After that, when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the common name. So just we have understood, remember? So we are having here mentum of what? Mentum of here, mentum of the arthropoda. So okay, fine. So when we are talking about the case of the arthros, so arthros means what? Tell me. So the arthros means the here mentum of the jointed. As well as here, when we are talking about the case of the podas, so the podas means what? So the podas means the jointed or either. Okay, so fine. So when we are talking about the arthros, so it literally means the jointed, as well as when we are talking about the case of the podas. So your podas means what? So when we are talking about the case of the podas, so it means the appendage. Then what? Then the foot as well as the legs. So we have did about the following characteristics, means what are actually the name. Then in terms of the common name. Often a bit introduction, means what are actually the here. Tell me the environment. Then we are having here in terms of the case of the digestion. So in this case the digestive system or rather the digestion will be what? So it will be quite a bit complex type, as well as when we are talking about the case of the excretion, remember, so the excretory system or rather the excretion will be performed by the help of the malphagate tubules, as well as we are often having the another types as well as the parts in it, such as here when we are talking about the case of the circulatory system. So in this case, when we are talking about the case of the circulatory system, so it will be quite a bit what? So it will be quite a bit open type. So you could often find it on the board here. So here is the circulatory system. So it will be coming under what case or either here mentum performed by which of the roles. So it will be performed as well as being done with reference in terms of the, tell me, the open type of the circulatory system are literally being present. So you are very clear about that, remember, means what are actually the open type of the circulatory system. Okay, so fine. So the organism in which the particular circulatory system will be not mechanized as like we are having in the case of the human being, or either in the case of the complex organism, such as we are having here in terms of the aorta. Then here we are having the arteries, then the vein, often the vesicles, often we are having the different mechanism of the heart. So these will be coming under what case? So these will be coming under in the case of the circulatory system, of course. And after that, the system which is playing important role to carry these vital forces are coming under what cases? So these will be coming under, tell me, the here, mentum of the circulatory system. Just we have understood. After that, we are having here main term the course of the respiration. So remember what are actually the respiration? So these are the biochemical process which are occurring from the complex level in term of the micro level, or either the vice versa, means in order in term of the simpler level towards the complex level, then from the complex level towards the simpler level. Just like when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the mode of here main term of the respiration. So it will be occurring by the help of the, tell me, the book lungs, then the book gills, as well as this will be often taking place with reference by the help of the skin or either the external body surface. So when we are talking about the case of the skin, so in this case the particular, tell me, the here main term the exchange of the gases will be occurring by the help of the osmosis. So when we are talking about the case of the osmosis, remember, so in this case the concentration gradient will be flowing from the higher concentration level towards the lower concentration level, as well as this, in this case we are often having the different mechanism of the semi-permeable membrane. Remember, so the particular concentration process could be reversed by the help of what? By the help of these things, meaning of the semi-permeable membrane. Now, so let's deal with reference to the example, means what are actually the certain examples when we are talking about the case of what? When we are talking about the case of the arthropoda. So now let's understand about these, means what are actually the, tell me, the here main of the mode of reproduction in the case of the arthropodas. Okay, so the phylum of the arthropodas, as well as when we are talking about this case, so in this case what will be happening? So in the case of the aquatic arthropodas, the fertilization in terms of the internal fertilization will be taking place, or rather will be employed, as well as in the case of the aquatic arthropodas, the same process will be employed, means what? So the internal fertilization will be occurring. Okay, so these are literally coming under the case of the reproduction. We'll be literally understanding about the brief inspection later. But now when we are talking about these cases in terms of the cases, or rather the here main of the certain factors with reference in the case of the reproduction, so it is very clear, means what? So these are quite a bit oviparous in nature. So when we are talking about the oviparous, means it will be laying egg. Now, so let's understand about the certain of the example. So in this case we'll be having what? So in this case we are having the Aedes, which is popularly known as the mosquito. Then we are having what? So that we are having the Anopheles. Then, so in this case popularly we are having the Aedes. Then the Anopheles, which is popularly known as what? So which is popularly known as the Culex. So you could often find it on the board here. So here is the Aedes, then the Culex, or either the Anopheles. Then we will be having what? Then we will be having the Lemulus. So when we are talking about the case of the Lemulus, so these are popularly known as what? Tell me. So these are known as the king crab. So now let's understand about the another features, means in terms of what? In terms of the special feature. Then what? Then the supportive features as well as the structure. So you could find it on the board. Here is the here made of the special features, then the supportive features of the structure. But when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the mode of reproduction in terms of what? In terms, just we have dealt about these cases, as well as we are often having what? As well as we are often having the sexes. So these are literally what? So these are dioecious in nature. So when we are talking about the case of the dioecious, so it literally means what? Okay, fine. So when we are talking about the dioecious, means in this case the sexes will be separated. Means in the another individuals, or either the male individual will be bearing the male gonads, playing important role to produce the male organs, etc. After that we will be having what? So after that we are having the special features. Then what? Then the supportive feature. So now let's understand about these in terms of the brief. So when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the special features. So in this, and when we are talking about these cases, means what are actually the special features as well as the supportive features. Remember? So when we are talking about the case of the special features, so in this case what will be happening? So these are popularly known as the largest phyla. Why? So these are literally being projected with reference to the huge demonstration, with reference on the surface as well as the presence on the earth. As well as when we are talking about these cases, so you could often find on the board here. So it is the largest phyla. Now, so when we are talking about these cases, main term of the habitats, as well as these are often bearing the certain of the chemical resemblance as well as the physiological resemblance, such as when we are talking about these cases in terms of what? In terms of the case of the arthropoda. So this will be quite a bit what? So this will be diploblastic in nature. As well as when we are talking about what are actually the diploblastic, remember? So the particular organism body which will be bearing the cells, and it could be divided into the three layers. So it will be coming under what case? So it will be coming under the case of the diploblastic. As well as when we are talking about the case of the arthropoda, so these are what? So these are the